In this video, we're going to look at how to calculate a confidence interval for a proportion. And so we would do this if we want to find the proportion of the population that has a certain characteristic. This would be if we had categorical data. We would use means if we had quantitative data. And just like we saw with estimating the population mean, instead of having a point estimate or a single best guess, we would want to have an interval about the sample proportion. So we're going to look at this example. It says in a poll conducted in 2004, a random sample of 1,004 adult Americans, 843 of them said that they were satisfied with the way things are going in their personal lives. We want to find a 95% confidence interval of the population proportion P. So we want to find an interval that 95% of the time would capture the true proportion of people who are satisfied with the way things are going in their personal lives. So we're going to do this in Minitab. And we're going to go to the same place that we went to for the T and Z for the mean. You can click on this one sample or go to statistics in the top toolbar. But in the same place where the T and Z are, you also should see an option for proportion, and that's where we're going to go right now. So click on proportion. This is the menu that comes up. The first thing that I need to do is change sample data in a column to summarize data, because we don't have the actual data in the spreadsheet of Minitab. What we have is the total number of people who responded in the certain way. So when you click on Summarize Data, you're going to see these options: number of events and number of trials. And going back to my original problem, the number of events is always going to be the number of people who answered in that certain way. So that would be the 843, the number of people who had the characteristic that I'm looking at. Number of trials is the total number of respondents. So number of trials is always going to be the larger number of the two because it's the total number of people who were surveyed. So going back here, number of events was 843 and number of trials is 1,004. Then I need to click on options, and I'm going to leave the alternative hypothesis option alone. I'm going to change the confidence level if I need to. So remember, the options for that are 90, 95, and 99. This problem was asking for 95. And then this is important. I need to change the method box from exact to normal approximation. If you don't do this, it's probably going to cause your answers to be a little bit off, and MyStatLab is not going to mark them as correct. So make sure that you make that change, and then you can click OK. And this is what the answer looks like. You should see this normal approximation is used for this analysis. That tells you that you made that change. And the descriptive statistics box, it gives you the information that you inputted. This is the sample proportion. So this is telling me 83.96% of people said that they were satisfied with the way things were going in their personal lives in my sample. And then this is the 95% confidence interval. So I'm 95% confident that this interval, 81.69% to 86.23%, has captured the true proportion of people who are satisfied with the way things are going in their personal lives. Now, there's a couple of ways that you could see the answer written here. You might see it as a decimal. You might be asked to input it as a decimal, or you might be asked to input it as a percent. And if you're asked to input it as a percent, Minitab is going to put a little percentage symbol next to the boxes where you're asked to put the answer in. So I could write my answer as a decimal 0.8169 if I round to 4 decimal places to 0.8623. Or as a percentages, it would be 81.69% to 86.23%.